Dr. Gallo, I've spent a remarkable day in your district today. I've watched an incredible fourth grade class that reflected not just what was happening in the fourth grade, but what those students were doing in the third grade and the second grade and probably the first grade as well. They just were just so tuned into their problem solving, and they did a remarkable job, and the teacher was just amazing. I've watched first grade students and second graders and third graders and fourth graders talk about problem solving. They talked about how much they loved it. They talked about how easy it was to make connections. I mean, they were just truly phenomenal. I watched a math coach and a math teacher have a discussion about their collaboration in her classroom. That was just a wonderful model for what you hope would happen. So I have to ask you, you're the educational leader of this district. This has been going on for several years. It obviously reflects a systemic effect, a commitment to do something over time. I have to ask you your perspective on this. Just tell me what you're thinking.
Well, first of all, thank you for telling me that. It's great to receive that kind of feedback. This is a remarkable place to work. 4 years ago, it wasn't the case where we had what I felt was continuity and coherence within our math curriculum. People felt that one product or another was either too difficult or not complete or whatever it needed. And with the great consult of Deb Armitage and certainly the work of Claire Pollard and our coaches, and their persistent effort, their passion for mathematics and for problem solving, the resources that they managed to put together in short periods of time, and the constant embedded professional development, I'm now hearing that absolutely it's paying off. That's the kind of thing it took. It took passion, it took commitment, it took perseverance, and we knew we could get the students hooked very quickly. But it's another thing to convince the adults that this is the way to go, because it's a lot of work.
And certainly what I saw today, I can tell you that the adults were truly convinced.
That's great.
One of the things that struck me is I've been working quite a bit on the Common Core lately, and I've been struck, and from the beginning we felt that Exemplars has been very closely aligned with the Common Core. If you look at our rubric and look at the standards of mathematical practice and the Common Core, they're practically the same. I've been struck by how well positioned your district is to embrace the Common Core. And I just wondered if you had given that any thought, if you know, I know you have so many other things to do, but that Common Core is looming large out there for so many people.
It certainly is, and it has been at the forefront of our thinking, actually, because we need to make sure that everything's aligned. Central Falls is always having to prove itself beyond the typical system. And so this entire program and the work that's been going on within, and the constant sort of evolving way in which it is dispersed across the district and into every classroom in this embedded manner, has really helped. To see that match is definitely giving us that step up, and we're ready now. We feel when the Common Core training from the state comes in, as we're a race to the top district and everything's going to happen in a unified way around the state, we too are going to be at that table, but already ready with what we know works and how well we know it works, because it is so closely aligned.
You'll be a leader in that group. I mean, because of the problem-solving work that you've done, I really do believe that. You're the district leader. This doesn't work unless your school leaders embrace this process. How is it that you've assured that the principals in Central Falls have been able to take up the leadership that you've been providing?
My principals do a great job. They have to transition from both sort of the central office leadership and the ground up push for leadership. And they do. They listen to their teachers. There's been a hue and cry about mathematics, and we have to pick up the scores, and we have to do this, and we have to do that. Well, when you see that we're providing this resource, it first looks ominous. Then as they touch it and work with it, and they see the children's faces, and then the children start demanding more and more of it because it's fun to do the problem solving. It's great to see a problem, look at it in awe, and then say, I can do this, I know what I need to do. It's that turning on of the brain and then that sharing with their cohorts. And that's what catches, and it's like a contagion of joy, really. And they keep moving it around, and the principals then come in. We're checking the portfolios, we're checking the assessment portfolios, we're taking a lot of action in terms of what parts are formative and what parts can we then say, look at this, see where we are. All of us take part of that, we take ownership in that. Principals with other principals visit other schools so that there's a shared leadership involved, the learning walks, all of the things that we are doing to balance the work with the accountability. In the beginning, there were many times we couldn't find the math folders, or we couldn't find an appropriate set of assessments completed. That doesn't happen anymore because everyone has bought into it. You see the joy in the children, you see the work that's produced, and you just want to do more of it. And it's definitely embedded in the system. It's systemic now, and it's sustainable.
That's really remarkable, and as I said, that is going to stand you in good stead in the future. Let me ask you this: if a superintendent from another district came to you and said, well, Dr. Gallo, I'm thinking about embracing problem solving as a way to transform my curriculum, what would you tell that person, A, the strengths are, but then B, the roadblocks are?
The strengths are easy because I can just say, come and see for yourself, see the excitement in the classroom, talk to my teachers who are now so convinced they could convince the strongest naysayer, and talk to the principals about how when everything is aligned so nicely, it just makes the whole day go better, and that every part of the work becomes smoother and clearer for everyone. That coherence and alignment matters. It takes away issues that we then have to deal with all the time. When everything is well tucked together, it makes life much simpler within the school leadership circle. So that part's easy. The barriers, the most convincing element, I think, is persistence, not giving up, holding back when they say, look, this isn't working. It doesn't happen overnight. This has been a nearly 4-year process. We see that the children who have had problem solving, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, this is exciting because we have the building blocks. And I would explain to any superintendent, you know you need the building blocks. You can't have a house that's just on sand, it's going to fall over. But you can and know that it will work as we keep building. And as I've said to my cohorts many a time, we need to have more and more of our high school teachers coming into these elementary classrooms to hear the language, the knowledge, the accountable talk that's going on, and see the excitement to know that they're not going to have excuses in high school anymore as teachers saying, oh, these kids can't do it, because the children themselves will stop them short in their tracks and say, oh, we can do it. We can do this and more. I don't think any of our 4th graders are afraid to tackle any kind of a problem because they'll apply the strategies. They're ingrained at this point. They know them well.
And I heard that today.
Good.
I really don't have any more questions. Do you have anything
I
you
just
would
have
like
big
to add?
thank yous because this has been great. It's been a wonderful partnership with Ms. Armitage. It's been an extraordinary experience for our coaches who really poured hours and hours and hours of work into preparing the kind of material it takes to have the resources ready, at the ready, for every teacher. And then the pain of bringing it forward and always knowing there's a strong possibility of rejection. But they put it out there, they took that risk, and now they're just grand partners in the classroom. Coaches and teachers teaching together, making a big difference.
I worked with your coaches today, and I agree with you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.